The workspace and the workforce of the 21st century is being reshaped by two generations. We are talking about the Gen Zs and the millennials. A new report by industry body Nasscom and job portal Indeed gives us some insights into the ongoing changes. Here's a report.
There is a generational shift taking place in the workforce and workspace. Millennials and Gen Zs who were born between 1980s and late 2000s are leading the way. Both generations have been the biggest beneficiaries of India's growth story. Exposed to greater opportunities and innovative ideas, they stand apart as employees. Their biggest impact is being felt in India's tech sector, worth over $245 billion. Gen Zs and millennials constitute 90% of the workforce in the highly popular tech sector. Both generations differ from those born in 1960s and 1970s in three big ways. They prioritize career growth through constant learning and skill development. They are open to trying their luck in the gig economy, which means taking on freelance assignments. Diversity, inclusivity, and environmental sustainability matter to them. These employees now hold over 80% of the junior and middle-level positions in companies. A decade ago, Gen Zs and millennials only constituted a third of all employees. Their rising profile in the workforce has compelled companies to focus on two important aspects: innovation and inclusivity. Over 60% of them are happy with the level of support and encouragement from their companies. Over half of the Indian population belong to the Gen Zs and millennial generations. Their dominant share in the workforce signals a generational shift in corporate management. How both generations operate in the job market is all set to reshape India's economy. The report, WION The World.
Mr. Sashi Kumar is the head of sales, Indeed India. He's joining us live from Bengaluru. Welcome to the broadcast, Mr. Sashi.
Thank you so much. Wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me.
How are the millennials and Generation Z affecting productivity and value creation of companies?
So as you mentioned in the report, 10 years back, millennials and Gen Zs made up almost 33% of our workforce. Today, the figure is almost 90%. So it's very obvious that a lot of the trends that we see are driven by them. One noticeable thing about this generation is possibly this is a generation that has seen the maximum impact of technology, including the use of CRM, including the use of a lot of productivity tools, which has meant that the focus has been on productivity, and this generation knows how to work and be as productive as possible. Second, with the new generation, specifically Gen Z, when people join from this generation are joining the workforce, a lot of them are not just looking at factors around the job, but they're focused mostly also around the value that they're adding to the company, the value of the company. So when you're looking at companies that are looking to attract Gen Z workers, good quality Gen Z workers, they focus on what the company's mission is in the way they communicate, because that has mattered a lot more. And hence, these employees are actually shaping the value that these companies are creating.
Mr. Kumar, how are the older generations coping with the generational shifts brought by the Gen Zs and millennials?
What it's actually very important to acknowledge is that people belonging to the older generation are also very valuable to companies today, because they bring a lot of experience, specifically around experience around managing change. Through their long careers, they've gone through various shifts in technology and fast shifts in technology. And this has meant that the older generation's experience is very critical for companies as they look to move to an era where change is going to be faster. But having said that, people in this generation have adopted a lot, both from a technical standpoint where they've had to upgrade their skills, and also from a social point of view where they've had to give up on some of the baggage that they've carried and adapt themselves as their companies really shift gears to be more sort of impactful in the newer generation of work.
Okay, so with all said and done, what are the challenges that Gen Zs and millennials continue to face in the workspace?
See, first of all, I think the biggest challenge that Gen Zs and millennials continue to face is the economic uncertainty that we are seeing. Many companies have had to make adjustments to their workforce and also sort of readjust the number of new people or the fresh talent that they're hiring from colleges and universities. This is a major, major change. Two, for Gen Zs, they will need to be a part of an environment where technological advances will be so fast that they will need to keep upgrading themselves. While upskilling is something that has been very important for all generations of workers, today, more than ever, it continues to be extremely important. And finally, Gen Z thrives in inclusive environment. And this will also pose a challenge because today not all companies have successfully fostered diversity and inclusivity. Almost 42% of employees felt that organizations that they work for lack an inclusive environment. So this generation, it'll be important that companies are able to demonstrate that they value diversity and inclusivity for them to be considered for great talent coming out of the Gen Z.
I've been talking to Mr. Sashi Kumar, who's the head of sales, Indeed India. Mr. Kumar, thank you very much for your insights and for talking to WION World is One today.
Thank you so much. Wonderful speaking with you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.